What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the new physique update from Carlos Thomas Jr. So there is gonna be so much hype for Carlos next year when he comes back, all the way till he makes it to the stage. And when you look at that structure, the kind of physique that he has, I have got to say he deserves all of that hype. Because the bodybuilding world, that doesn't just come across this kind of build very often. This is very rare. Once in a blue moon we see this kind of physique. So Patrick Tuor, his current coach, releasing a short video of him doing the front double biceps today, signaling that they are coming and bringing something exceptional next year. Now, irrespective of how his back looks like, compared to Texas Pro last year, when he made his pro debut, and that was more than 1 year ago, even if Carlos shows up with that exact same back, but he just gets peeled enough, if he can bring the conditioning, I believe he is gonna be on the Olympia stage next year for sure. Because you can literally pick about every bodybuilder, even the reigning Miss Olympia, Samson Dauda, also the two former Olympias, Hadi and Derek, and each and every single one of these guys, they have some weak shots. So Carlos teaming up with a guy like Patrick Tuor, that is a great move, because Patrick's work, that speaks for itself. And it will be a treat to witness a physique like this on the stage, when it is absolutely ripped to the bone and truly shredded. Now, as of right now, Detroit Pro is going to be Carlos's first show of the year. The mutant Nick Walker has gotten so comfortable with the nicknames that some of these fans have given him, especially this year, after he dropped out of the Olympia. Well, look at that latest caption, and most of you guys will understand. Now, for a guy who is in the off-season, weighing in the 290s, Nick Walker looks really lean and is still in the rebuilding phase. Now, it is interesting that Nick Walker hasn't done a single show with any other coach other than Matt Jensen ever since he turned pro. So this is gonna be his first time with a new coach. And I have got to say there is gonna be lots of pressure on him, actually both of these guys, to perform at their next show. Now I personally feel like Nick Walker has lost a lot of his hype, especially in the last couple of years. Simply because we haven't seen him compete more, especially at the Olympia. Now he did not do the Olympia last year because of that hamstring injury. And he did not do the Olympia this year because his body just wasn't responding. The only show that he did in the last couple of years, that was the New York Pro. And that, I think we can all agree, wasn't a very overwhelming look from Nick Walker. So he has got to show up like the Olympia 2022. And if he is in fact doing the Pittsburgh Pro, maybe he need to take out a guy like Martin Fitzwater, because he is the fourth best bodybuilder in the world. And if Nick Walker can do that now, that is gonna put him right back in the discussion for the top 3 at the Olympia next year. So both Nick Walker and his coach, they have got lots of work to do. They have to make sure that his quads look bigger and improved, but at the same time, make sure his waistline looks really streamlined, so that he can create more of an illusion of having that V-taper, of having that X-frame on the stage. Now, we all know Nick Walker has always been very vocal about winning the Olympia and every other show that he enters. But at this point, his fate is very much dependent on some of these other top guys, like Samson Dauda, Hadi, Derek, maybe Martin, and Andrew Jack as well. Because I don't think Nick Walker can beat a physique like Samson Dauda, especially if Samson is on, if Samson keeps on bringing his A game. Next up, we have an update from the Persian Wolf, Hadi. The captions that Hadi puts up, like this one, they also have a deep meaning, and they also reflect his mindset going into this next year as he focuses on getting back that Miss Olympia title, because that is his ultimate goal. Now, if you guys think about this, Hadi did do his job. He beat the reigning Miss Olympia, Derek Linsford, but Samson Dauda just came from 3rd place, and he kind of stole the crown from both these guys, and he 100% deserved that. But that being said, it wasn't the best Hadi that Samson Dauda beat at the Olympia this year. The best Hadi was the one that showed up at the Arnold, Ohio this year, and he just slammed the door shut on everyone. So would the results have been any different if it was the Arnold, Ohio version of Hadi who showed up at this past Miss Olympia, considering the fact that Samson and Hadi, they were tied after the prejudging on the scorecards? Now, me personally, I do feel like Hadi would have definitely won, especially the prejudging, if he showed up at his best. Now, the judges said that Hadi's legs looked a bit downsized, and not just from the front. From the side as well, his side shots also looked less overwhelming, and his back also wasn't as tight as it was at the Arnold. And still, the scores were tied against the all-time best of Samson Dauda at the prejudging. So that just goes to show us that we are in for a great battle in 2025 as well. So the biggest question for Hadi remains unanswered. Who is gonna be Hadi Choopan's next coach? Because that's a lot of pressure on that specific coach as well. And can another coach, for instance like Patrick Tuor or Chris Azito, get Hadi Choopan as much peeled as Hani Rambo did throughout his career, especially at the Arnold this year? Well, I think they can, because if we look back at the younger version of Hadi Choopan, he was shredded even back then, when he wasn't even working with Hani Rambo. Next up, we have an update of Derek Lunsford. So he has loaded up that machine up to a point where there isn't a place for even one more plate. Because this is exactly what Derek has to do in order to reclaim that Miss Olympia throne, that Mr. Olympia crown. He needs bigger and more fuller quads. Now people are really quick to count someone out. For instance, as they are counting out a guy like Derek, after him placing third at this past Miss Olympia without even realizing that the man is just 31 years old. And he has got plenty of time to improve his physique. He has got all the time in the world. So what was the chatter about Derek Lunsford throughout this year? While the critics were more concerned about his chest and his shoulders than his quads, and Derek did not get the credit over the fact that he did bring his delts and his chest up, but the entire focus just went towards his legs, which honestly did make his physique look unbalanced on the stage. Now we have no idea whether there was a point during the prep when Derek and Hani realized that his quads are losing volume, because based on the guest posing appearance that Derek did, especially at the Pittsburgh Pro this year, his quads were looking absolutely massive. And that actually was the case throughout his Olympia prep this year. His quads were looking really massive up until the Olympia peak week. Now Derek spending more time with his family after the Olympia this year, that pretty much confirms that the Arnold 2025, that just isn't an option for him. So we are most probably gonna see him on the stage at the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing this year, and he is again gonna do only one show, the Olympia. So what are your expectations from Derek next year, considering Martin Fitzwater is improving at such a fast pace, and even the head judge, Steve Weinberger, saying that Martin could have placed third at this past Miss Olympia? Considering the fact that this is a full-blown off-season physique update of Robin Strand, add him in that 300 pounds club, and that isn't just a number. He legit looks scary big at the moment. Now you can pick apart Robin on the basis of his structure. He doesn't have the best V-taper or the most pleasing lines on the stage, but you cannot mess with that conditioning that he's able to get for every single show that he does. And he is so consistent with it. Now we can all agree John Jewett was one of the best peak guy at the Olympia this year, and this is a picture of Robin hitting the rear lat spread next to John, looking even more pale than John himself, which is just insane to think. So Van Pro was also the best placing that Robin got this year, a top 3 finish. That was a great accomplishment. But the last 2 shows that Robin did, Dubai and Chicago, and the placings that he got, they made no sense whatsoever. The only reason I can understand is that he wasn't peak 100% for both of these shows, and because of the structural disadvantage that Robin has, it was easier for the judges to drop him down to third call out. Now Robin is gonna be back with more size next year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.